first thing I want to do is jump right down to this. Okay. Our homie Asha put up this post on Twitter. She said, live playthrough of the Elder Scrolls 6, and then 8 asterisk with like everyone is saying the title is Sentinel. So she played Elder Scrolls 6 this morning, which was the 11th. It's a few days now. The scale and grandeur are incredible. The story is even greater. Okay. So first of all, we know Asha's not a huge gamer. All right. So for her to get her hands on this and to comment on how big and beautiful and how immense it all feels, and also getting into the story, tells me a couple things. One, it's better than you can imagine, because for her, of course, she's going to want to hype up her games, but she not having a lot of experience with it and seeing that and being blown away, that's impressive. And then also it lets us know, when she says the story is even greater, it lets us know that they're going to do more of the traditional boom right away. You're starting in that story, right? As opposed to, slowly moving you into it. So I'm very excited about that. Okay. But this sparked a huge conversation that talks about a lot of different, people started chiming in, because everybody has jumped in and said they want this game to be exclusive to Xbox. Like a lot of people, like Clute, our boy Clute out here saying, right, that he wants it to be exclusive. Obviously, we know Helix is coming right around the corner. And, frankly, launching alongside or really close after Helix would be pretty amazing if it were an Xbox exclusive, right? For the Xbox narrative. That's what they want. That's something that would actually, move the needle, right? That would actually mean something to people who are interested in this, right? But if we go back over here, and this is just kind of one step on this, but Jez puts this whole thing together, right? Of basically a for and against, right? Exclusivity. Now, argument against Xbox console exclusivity, we're not going to go into it, right? Obviously, the money and you're losing money and blah 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 blah. Xbox knows about that, right? So that entire idea makes no sense, because if they cared about that, then they wouldn't be doing any exclusives, right? But it doesn't make sense to be selective and be like, well, this I could be exclusive, this not. Like that whole idea is dumb. So the argument against it, everybody knows it, right? Now, this is the argument for Xbox console exclusivity. I'm going to read Jet stuff that he says about it, and then, we'll discuss it, and I'll introduce some other of the words that are being brought out there with these people who are thinking that this shouldn't be exclusive to Xbox. It's a fun time. But so he starts. It says, Microsoft and others don't really release data on how many users own both an Xbox. Okay. I don't like when this is, I know he has to do like a setup. All right, let's go. Okay. Indeed, I've been told that a lot of users Xbox sees across its network show up on different platforms, suggesting that even if Elder Scrolls 6 were exclusive, it would still have a pretty huge addressable audience to the tune of tens of millions, even without PlayStation. Facts. If Microsoft were to take Elder Scrolls 6 exclusive, it would send a very strong signal that Xbox is truly in it to win it, particularly if Elder Scrolls 6 is actually very good. And the sales would come in strong regardless. If users can't buy it on PlayStation 5, they'll probably either grab it via Steam, which I can't see Xbox ditching anytime soon, or their dusty Xbox Series X and S they haven't had any reason to turn on for several years. By the time Elder Scrolls 6 launches, Xbox will also have a range of new cloud gaming initiatives in the marketplace too. Direct to Wi-Fi Xbox controllers will be available, shaving a non-trivial amount of latency off proceedings. Elder Scrolls 6 exclusivity might not just be a loss leader for Xbox Helix or Xbox Series X and X. In that context, it can also be a marketing vehicle for buy to own Xbox Cloud Gaming, which I presume Xbox will be looking to market more seriously by the time the game launches. If sales could become an issue under a console exclusivity package, Xbox could also take the step of keeping off Xbox Game Pass Ultimate for a time, similar to what we're seeing with Call of Duty, although I imagine such a move would be pretty unpopular. All right. So this is Jazz's take on it. All right. So first thing, I don't like the idea of floating around, hey, Xbox, take games off of Game Pass if you think they're going to be too big. Okay. I think we need to fall back on that conversation. Call of Duty Call of Duty, we know price increased for Call of Duty, and so it decreased to get it out, right? Done. Great. I haven't pre-ordered it because I was kind of waiting to see more, but I'm not gonna lie, they're doing a campaign beta next week. I might have to get that pre-order for that. You know what I'm saying? Just might have to do that. So yeah, I just think the conversation about Xbox Game Pass dropping games needs to die and go away real quick. Like, I don't even think we need to talk about that. But I mean, I think one of the biggest things here, and he talked about possibly helping cloud gaming and all this buy to own stuff. Great, those are all side benefits that will come. But the biggest thing is that second paragraph where he says, if Microsoft were to take Elder Scrolls 6 exclusive, it would send a very strong signal that Xbox is truly in it to win it. And that's the part for me, right? That's the part for me that makes this all so very important for Xbox not to mess up. Like 100%. Elder Scrolls 6 is the game that needs to be exclusive. There's no other way around it. It just has to happen because that's what Xbox put out there as the, hey, we're bringing you exclusives. I got to tell you, no one is going to care if Xbox is bringing exclusives if all that means is that they're getting the small, tiny, nothing burger exclusives. Because guess what? We already had Avowed exclusive. We already had South of Midnight exclusive. We already had Keeper exclusive. We've done the exclusives on the smaller scale, and nothing has moved the needle. And the hardcore fan base was not satisfied with that. So that's the part that really is important. And after Hargeet throws some bars, I'm gonna go get some other stuff that people were talking about. But for me, that's the biggest deal. Now, Hargeet, what do you think about Jez's article and what he's talking about here with keeping it exclusive? He also mentioned like Fallout in the header and never mentioned it again. But basically Bethesda. Why? Like, what do you think about what he kind of talked about here?
I mean, we've already talked about this where it's like, what else do they have? So they have to like take these games and make them exclusive. They decided to get rid of all the small games. So all they have is big games. So like you have to, these have to all be exclusive then. Like what's left? So the only thing I can think of is Call of Duty, Overwatch. Those will stay multiplat. Your Minecrafts will stay multiplat. Everything else is kind of up in the air as to like it should kind of be exclusive. I don't know what, like, people might say Diablo should. I don't see why Diablo can't be exclusive. I like at some point you just have to say, well, like these are all your IPs now, right? That's what you wanted to go after, the big games. Well, these are your big games. So like, what else do you like? So if you look at the stable, you got your Halo, Gears, and Forza. Fair enough. We've added Fable, and then you have Bethesda, right? And then you have a few games from. To be fair, they still have like their the RTS type games. That studio's still around, I believe. World's Edge is still around, right? So they might still have a Age of Empires or something like that. Fair enough, right? But fine. But outside of that, what do you got, right? They killed Flight Sim. They took all the smaller games and said, hey, studios, go away, right? They're still coming, right? We're still gonna get State of Decay. We're still gonna get Hellblade, all that. Fine, fair enough. But they got rid of all that, right? So you basically are saying like it's the Bethesda games, which is Fallout, Starfield and Elder Scrolls, plus Doom, Quake, and Wolfenstein. Maybe you count Indie in there. I don't know. We have no idea if it's going to stay or not, but they had, Blade potentially coming out. I don't know if that's still happening under the umbrella of Bethesda or not. If that studio is going to be jettisoned, we'll find out, right? We don't know. So we'll see how that goes. But that's it, right? So then what else do you got? What are you going to go and make exclusive? So that's it. These are your games, right? So so I look at the other side, elsewhere, whatever they're making, that could be an exclusive. And then like, you have, Diablo. And I don't see where they're going to go beyond that. So they have StarCraft. There's something coming. We don't know. We haven't heard it yet, but there's been rumors. There's something coming out with StarCraft. Again, that could be exclusive, right? So there was like an assumption going in that ABK everything is everywhere. I don't know that that's true. I think Call of Duty is the only thing they signed an agreement for. Everything else is up in the air, and Asha could say, it's mine, and it's all exclusive, right? So if you're going to say you want exclusives, and you want big game exclusives, then these have to be in it. Now, there's the counter argument of, well, some of these games were everywhere, because not all of them were, to be fair. Morrowind, I don't believe ever made it to PlayStation, did it? Did Morrowind ever come out on PlayStation? I don't think it did. But Oblivion did eventually go to PlayStation. Skyrim, I think, launched on both. Fair enough, but that doesn't mean that the rest of it, right? So if you look at Elder Scrolls 1 and 2, did those ever come to console? I don't even know if they came to console. But you know what they did come out on? The other Microsoft platform, Windows. So those are Windows exclusives. So there might as well be Xbox exclusives. So I see the pedigree.
It is
I don't
not.
care.
Morrowind
Never came to PlayStation, right?
Morrowind, no.
Yeah, so that is an Xbox console exclusive. Now, it's also obviously on PC, obviously, right? But that's a console exclusive. So it's not unparalleled. It's not unheard of for Elder Scrolls to be a console exclusive to Xbox because it happened before. Now they own them. Like, there's no reason you couldn't say, well, duh, we did it before. Why can't we do it now? So it's ours. We can do whatever the hell we want. It's ours. So, they did it with Starfield. I don't see why they can't do it here either. Do they look at like, hey, there's some sales level we want to get to? Well, attract the customers. And look, there's fairness to even say that a lot of the players on this might all be on PC because there's a lot of mods on PC, and that's a mod heavy game. Fair enough, right? So they're still going to put it there. It's absolutely coming to Steam. I don't see them pulling it from Steam. That's just not going to happen.
There's no reason.
It's going to be on Steam. So PC players who are going to be the majority player anyway, they're going to have fun with it, whatever, right? So they're going to sell it there. They're going to have it on Game Pass, very likely. Like you said, it's possible here, like Jez is saying. When he says those things, by the way, I always think of, he's heard something. But anyway, shout out to Jez.
I mean, how could it not? Like, it's the only conversation to have. And you don't like the fact that Asha is coming out here saying it. I don't think you come out here hyping this game if you know the backlash that's going to come if it's announced for the other platform.
PlayStation. Yeah. Look,
it'll be massive backlash.
I think they're kind of learning the thing about like how putting games there hasn't really helped them. It's made a little bit of money, especially on Forza. It made money there. A couple of others kind of made something. It's good, right? The rest of them are like middling. It's not really doing anything, right? So it didn't really help. This one could sell a lot. It could, right? But on the flip side, is it worth it? So, and they're the ones saying these things, right? Matthew Ball goes out there and says, hey, sometimes it's better to have less sales because it's helpful to your brand, right? So fair enough. If that's what you guys are putting out there, again, neither of us is on this whole exclusives train. It doesn't matter to us. But hey, if you're going to play this game, then yeah, I don't see a world in which you don't make this an exclusive. It makes no sense to me. You should be making an exclusive. Now, there's also the question of timed versus permanent. I don't like the time thing. I think that's just a slap in the face. Just freaking make it exclusive and be done with it. Right? If you're gonna put it out on a platform, stop the timed bullshit. Just put it there. Just put it there day to day. Let them enjoy it. Why are you gonna like say, oh, well, you'll get it later? No. Just put it there immediately. If you're not gonna do that, then just make it permanent. I don't like the idea of this like time things. But either way, whatever. I think it's going to be exclusive. That's my guess. It seems like they're pushing in that direction. There's a lot of other people saying that, right? So it seems to be going in that direction. But yeah, that's what I think Jez is kind of like hinting at where things are going. I think this is like they're deliberating, obviously. And I think Asha has a little bit of latitude to try to bring the brand back. And this is one of the things she wants to play, right? She wants to go the exclusives route. Fair enough. So if that's the path, that's the path.
Well, agreed. Now, this is the thing, though. The internet is not saying if that's the path, then that's the path. What's happening on the internet is people are saying, instead of minding their own business, okay, because they're so invested in losing these games and losing access to these games, everybody wants to come out and talk crap. Now, one of the people that's gaining a lot of traction from their speech on this is right here. Let me just do this. Bam. Derek Strickland over at Deek Town or Deek Tweak or whatever it is. So what's clear, and we're going to read, he wrote like a freaking crazy, this is like nib style messaging over here. We're going to read through it, but it's clear people are very concerned with what Asha is capable of doing. You know what I'm saying? I remember before, like people like Colin and all that stuff, before when like exclusives were, where that whole thing was first coming about, people were like, oh no, the game's going to be exclusive. There's no doubt. Nobody's going to take away Starfield or anything from anybody. No, the game's going to, and then it didn't happen and they were all devastated. And right now, because Asha is in the driver's seat, people are shitting their pants. Okay. They are nervous. They know Asha is fully capable of pressing the FU button and saying, no, homie, this is ours. You don't get to play unless you play our way. That she's fully capable of doing it, and they're afraid. So let's read what Derek has to say. Before we do that, let's get our boy Golden Sook in the building. Member for 12 months. Thank you, brother. Appreciate you, my dude. Says, dang, 1 year. Crazy, right? It's been a year, man. Thank you for the support, bro. I really appreciate you. He says, Elder Scrolls Online exclusive is the only option. Elder Scrolls Online? Or do you mean, I think you mean Elder Scrolls 6. Exclusive is the only option. I agree. It is absolutely the only option. It's the only thing that makes sense. All right, Derek Strickland. Let's hear his argument against exclusivity for Xbox. All right, Derek says, if Xbox feels okay about making Elder Scrolls 6 exclusive, then they shouldn't actually do it. First of all, what type of statement is that, Hargeet? If Xbox feels okay about making Elder Scrolls 6 exclusive, then they shouldn't actually do it. So, like, if they didn't feel okay about it, then they should do it. Hargeet, what am I reading here? What is it? Crack Hill? I think Crack Hill.
I don't know. That one is a little nonsensical. I don't know. It is a weird sentence to write that way. Yeah, that should have been written differently, right? I kind of get what he's saying there, is that even if it is viable, still don't do it. But
yeah, like, even if you do believe it'll be making sense, don't do it. No, man, come on, bro. That's crazy. That's crazy.
I don't know how true this is. I'm just throwing in some, like, the ChatGPT numbers, but apparently Xbox was still the primary platform for Skyrim, for Elder Scrolls 5.
Yeah. You know why, Hargeet? Everybody wants to pretend like they don't remember that all of Bethesda games sucked on PlayStation. Every single one. They launched horribly. Skyrim, everybody mocked that crap on PlayStation. No one was buying on PlayStation. That's part of why Xbox 360 was doing so good, because people were like, I want to play Skyrim, but I'm not playing that crap PlayStation version. So they went to Xbox. That, my friends, is really, oh, look, we're twinning. Look at Hargeet and me. Pretty sure that's your Xbox one, right? No, it looks like
an Xbox one.
God damn it, Hargeet.
It's just
I thought that said Xbox. Well,
nope.
I take it back. We're not twinning. God damn it, Hargeet. But yes, Bethesda has a history of releasing bad ports on PlayStation. And that's because PlayStation is doo-doo. Okay. I don't make the rules. Bethesda just told it like it is. Okay. All right. Let's continue. In my opinion, it would be better to make exclusive content or even some type of mode/feature that's excluded from PlayStation. Hargeet. Bro,
I don't buy it. I don't buy it. This is like just begging to get the game ported.
What is it?
I don't get it.
What is it? Begging?
Yeah,
Hargeet, I think you need to press the button that you have over there.
To, like, push negativity towards anybody.
And also D. E-D. What is it, Hargeet? Click the button.
What?
E-D. E.
Oh. Why is it not on? It's not even on. Hold on. It'll take me a second. For some reason,
it's worth a moment, because this is the truest form of it right now. This is what we're seeing.
Emotional damage.
It is emotional damage, Hargeet. That's 100% what we're seeing. He is begging. Please don't take it away. I'd rather you just give them a mode. All right. How about this? We get the single player mode and you get a title screen. You know what I'm saying? How would that work? Would you pay? Should they just be able to pay for the title screen to look at it on their PlayStation, but they can't actually play the game? And when they go click the single player mode, it says pay now, and it ships you an Xbox and the console in the game. I think that would be the best way for that mode to be exclusive. Oh, snap. All right. It says PlayStation has been a big contributor to modern TES game sales. Derek says if consoles stay at $800 to $900, then dedicated gaming in this way won't be seen as a growth trajectory. In my opinion, there is no reason to exclude such valuable content to sell a box whose selling power is already diminished by default. Damn, he's begging and talking shit at the same time. That is some crazy work, my dude. Does he forget that Xbox doesn't need to grow the industry? Xbox just needs to grow the people who own Xboxes. And there's a lot of people who have PlayStations who don't have Xboxes. So seems like that is the most likely scenario in the case of the people who want to play this game. And then he continues, yet exclusives can go beyond console, cloud, and PC. So if the Elder Scrolls 6 does go exclusive, we should be thinking about how it will affect the entire Xbox ecosystem, not just Helix console sales. Excuse me. If consoles stay at these prices, I don't think Microsoft expects to sell a ton of Helix consoles anyway, regardless of the value that's offered. Two things need to happen for Xbox to maximize the Elder Scrolls 6 value. One, release it on Gen 9 because Gen 10's install base will be lower due to high prices. Two, make it multi-platform. Because the Xbox console ecosystem has stalled in Gen 9 and Gen 10, maybe even worse due to high prices. Yo, you can't make this up. The begging in 4K is crazy. Wow. Okay. Wow. All right. So he continues, it just depends on what strategy Xbox wants to take. Do what's good for the platform or do what's good for the property. I love, by the way, that he is admitting that he knows that keeping it exclusive would be good for the platform. Right there, he says it, which is exciting for him. This is crazy. This is a tough choice that Xbox has had to make repeatedly with many of its IPs. That's what happens when you own so many billion-dollar properties. And then right at the bottom, Kismu says, fuck that, make it exclusive. So I think that just goes ahead and puts a cap on it. Hargeet, what do you think? What do you think about Derek's entire little monologue he put on here for us? And is it viable? Would Xbox be doing something idiotic to leave all that money on the table for them to make off of PlayStation and Nintendo?
Yeah. Why aren't we asking this about Wolverine?
Or
Look,
Soros. I haven't told anything.
Right. Soros. Right. Yeah, exactly. Look, ultimately, like, first off, it's not $800 to $900. You can buy a Series S and play that game. It will be fine. And the Series S is still $500. I'm sure there'll be discounts here and there on sale during holidays. You can play for less than that. If you already have a PC, you're good, right? And like, I thought all of the PlayStation fans have like massive PCs. Do they not? I was told they have massive PCs, right? No, is that not the case? Oh, okay. So that was another lie. Look, I ultimately, this is not relevant to me. I don't care what Microsoft does with their money. They make freaking, wait 10 minutes. Oh, there's $1 billion they just made. I don't care. I like that for that. If they want to throw money at it, I don't give a shit. It's not my problem. It's really a question of them figuring out what makes sense for their platform, for their stuff, that what they want to do to go to market. And their strategy is to do this exclusive thing. That's fair. That's fine. That's their choice. They can do it. Their competitors are doing it. Nobody ever questions why Zelda isn't on an Xbox or PlayStation. Nobody questions that. It's always on freaking Nintendo's, the stupidest console as far as performance, right? But hey, whatever. A new one's an Ocarina of Time remake is coming out. Why isn't that on PC? Is that where's the why aren't they questioning this? Are there not 1 billion players on PC? Why are we not asking this question? Why is Nintendo not making more money? Who cares? Not my problem. I don't need to worry about bean counting a company that makes over 100 billion in pure profit every year. It's not my problem. I don't care. They make more money in profit than like half the countries on the planet make total. Like, why do I give a shit? Honestly, it's just not relevant to me. Whatever they want to do, they can do. I'm not going to sit here and penny pinch their stupid wallet. It doesn't matter to me, right? I'm looking for what I get out of it. I want a game to play. And Elder Scrolls is one of my, it's one of those awesome, big, environment games. It's a great RPG. I loved Oblivion. I thought Skyrim was great. I'm looking forward to Elder Scrolls 6. That's all I care about. It's on the platforms that I'm on, so I'm happy. I don't give a shit. If PlayStation fans can get it, good for them. If they can't get them, fuck them. I don't care. It's not my problem. And that should really be anybody's answer to this. Nobody questions why Wolverine isn't coming to PC. Where's the PC port? Where's the announcement? Oh, they don't have one? That's totally okay. Why is that okay? Is that not taking their shareholders' money away? Is that not taking away direct profit that goes to shareholders? Where's the question there? Huh? Where are the questions? Why isn't Wolverine? Where is it? Why hasn't it come? Where's Ghost of Yote on PC? Where is it? Why haven't we seen it? You're taking away money. It's going to sell. Why aren't you putting it there? I don't give a shit. It's not my problem. PlayStation decided this is what they want to do. Good for them. Like, it's not my freaking problem to freaking figure out their bottom line. That's what they want to do. Good for them, right? Would I like it on PC? Sure. I think it's better if they have their games on there. But if they don't want to put them there, that's their problem. If Nintendo doesn't want to do that, that's their problem. There's always emulation. Just saying. But so whatever. But as far as Xbox, they have this other major platform. They're not playing the same game Nintendo and PlayStation are.
Yes.
They're still putting it out on PC with 1 billion players. 1 billion. Why is that not enough? If you want to engage, you have cloud, which everybody loves, right? Cloud, everybody wants it. You have cloud, you have PC and Xbox. So it's not just Xbox. It'll be on freaking PC. You can play it there. You can cloud it on your freaking tablet. Like, whatever, dude. Engage wherever you want to engage. It just won't be on Nintendo and PlayStation. It's just those two platforms. Who cares? Your freaking Steam machine will play it if you want to play it there. Your Steam Deck will play it. Your ROG Xbox Ally X will play it. Your MSI Claw will play it. Who just play? What the hell? Just find one of the platforms and play. Like, this whole thing just is annoying to me. Like, all this peroration basically because they all like freaking PlayStation. Well, too bad. Screw PlayStation. They're screwing their fans. The hell with their crap. Tell them to go to hell and don't put any games on that platform. And oh, by the way, make Fable exclusive. I don't care what it costs. Pull it the fuck out of PlayStation. Shove it up their ass.
I mean, Hargeet, you're not wrong, right? Again, if they're going to go ahead and do this, they need to commit, right? Like, don't half-ass it, right? Like, don't half-ass it. You came in here and you said, all right, we're doing exclusives. Don't, like, bullshit people. You know what I'm saying? That's what that would be, all right? And Hargeet, like, tell me if you agree with this, because, like, if it turns out that Xbox is only trying to placate the voices that were making a lot of noise and just say, yeah, here you have exclusives, but they're doing it only for the games that they know are not going to do anything over there anyway, would you think that that is fucked up? Like, would you think that that would be some bullshit that, oh, we're doing exclusives, but not our big games? What? No.
Yeah, I think they need to pull it. I don't care. Like, they could just take the excuse of, hey, we gave you Halo and you didn't buy it. You didn't buy it. So why should we give you Fable? F off. We're just going to pull it. Too bad. We're canceling all the pre-orders. Have a nice day. We're done. Right? And I keep saying this whole, like, but you'll piss off Sony. Who cares? You've got them by the balls. They're not, like, they put out old fucking Call of Duties. And those PlayStation suckers bought 11 million fucking copies of old ass games that were 2 generations old.
Facts.
They own them, period. It doesn't matter. They own the game that makes their money. They're not going to be able to do anything. They can piss and moan. It won't matter. They're still going to sell the Call of Duty that comes out. That's the way it is. Xbox can do whatever the fuck they want. They just can't. There's nothing Sony can do about it. They're not going to fucking piss off Xbox. They need the Call of Duty money. It is what it is. They're not going to fuck with it. So pull the game. Pull the fucking game and just be done with it.
Honestly, like, this is the thing. You know, I just, for me, I think Asha needs to have a come to Jesus moment with the crew and be like, listen, I know we were going to do some exclusives, some not exclusives, blah, blah, blah. You know what? That's too confusing for our audience. It's too confusing for the conversations that we have on Twitter. They can see these conversations. And it's this back and will they, won't they, will they, won't they? And it doesn't drive anything to the business until that time. If people knew definitively right now, if they knew definitively that Elder Scrolls 6 was in fact going to be exclusive, you would have people who start migrating now, who start saying, okay, I know it's coming out in the next year or two. I got to start saving. I got to do this. They'll start figuring out how they're going to be able to take part in this experience that is Elder Scrolls 6. That's if you do it now. If you leave for the next year or two, uncertainty on whether or not there will be this as an exclusive or not, people are spending their money on other stuff. You go ahead, you're hyping them up. You're saying, wow, I played the game. It's amazing. The story's amazing. What does that mean if you can't capitalize on that? Right? Similar to how they didn't capitalize on the disc-based situation. And to be honest, it's almost like that disc conversation has slowly faded away, right? Like, it's not as prominent as it was. No, you think so?
Prominent, but it's still there. It's still there. I saw one from Gamers Nexus saying, fuck PlayStation and now I'm gonna go get disc-based stuff from everywhere else. So like, it's still out there, dude. It's still a big deal. And I think they're gonna. I hope they have the foresight to announce this at Gamescom. It's like a week away, right? That's coming up in a couple of like a week and a few days.
It's
right?
not too far away. Not too far away. Yeah, they either way, I think they need to start, like, as much as I'm down with what Asha's doing, she needs to start pulling some triggers and acting a little faster on some of these moments that would matter. You're coming out here talking about like Elder Scrolls 6. Perfect time to make a note. By the way, had discussions with the team. I want to let you guys know Elder Scrolls 6 will be an Xbox ecosystem exclusive. Melt the internet now. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have the opportunity to do so. The thing that annoys me is the idea that, are they just doing a waiting game? They don't want to announce it because they don't know how they're going to feel by the end of next year. Like, that's the part that I'm like a little annoyed with, is I want Xbox to be all in. Like, if you came out here to say it, be all in. Be all in. Make the announcement.
I don't know that, like, remember, they have shows going on the whole year, right? So they're gonna pick opportune moments. And a good opportune moment would be the Game Awards. That's a great moment to get a lot of eyeballs and announce, here's a look at Elder Scrolls 6 coming to Xbox and PC, right? So they could do it then, but you want to pick a moment that there'll be a large audience to see it, right? So it could be the June showcase, it could be a dev direct, it could be Gamescom. I think Gamescom's a little smaller when it comes to the announcements thing, but it could possibly be there. But I really think it makes sense for like a Game Awards type of thing, where it's a massive 100 million eyeballs. You want to have that kind of audience saying, "Oh, Elder Scrolls is coming," and you want to maximize that hit of like, "Oh, I want to play that. Oh, it's only on Xbox and PC. I better get one of those platforms," right? So I think they're going to look to kind of that'd be my guess, right? If they wanted to show it. Todd also likes to show the game right before it actually comes out. So just given that, I would expect it to be like within a short time frame of actual release. And I also don't know when it's coming out, right? Like we hear 27. I think realistically, you should probably look at 28. But we'll see.
Early 28 makes sense to me.
I think
they'll do an Oblivion the same way they did Oblivion, right?
Yeah,
it wasn't a launch
28.
title, it was a launch window. It came out early.
Exactly. I think that makes sense. Yeah.
And I think that's the best case scenario, because Elder Scrolls is too big of an IP to mix with the hype of a console. Like, the console itself is hype.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So let people die down from that and then hit them in early 2028.
March, April. Yeah.
Even if you went February, you could do like a February, March and pop early.
Fair enough. Yeah.
And then
get it out there. Give it its time, right? That's the other thing. Usually the fall has so many games, you want to like not put your big thing there and like give it its own like area so that it can breathe and get its own launch area, not affected by somebody else. Though a lot of games start to go into that window, but I still think that's a good time. It also gives them a large anchor game at the beginning of the year, right? That they sometimes just miss putting out a big game in the beginning of the year. This year they kind of had one with Forza. It was still May, right? But it's nice to have Fable is coming out February. Like, that's cool. You got something right at the beginning of the year, right? That's what they kind of need to do. And this could be an awesome like start of the year. You're starting with a banger, Elder Scrolls 6, boom, right? But yeah, we'll see what they do.
And a major exclusive.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? They always anchor their fall. They anchor their fall with the biggest release every year, which is Call of Duty. So they don't have to worry about the fall. They own it. They own the fall anyways, right? It's like, you don't have to worry about it. Add in a Clockwork, add in something else, good enough. That's it. You need one game plus Call of Duty, you're good. Your fall is done. You need to then anchor other games up in other times of the year. I think this is a perfect, like, March, April, put it out. February's fine, right? So that's a great idea. Like, put it out in 28. But yeah, either way, this is a good potential exclusive. I don't care about all this. Now, the fact that he's talking about like it should be cross-gen, it will 100% be.
Yeah, it's not going to be exclusive to Helix.
It's gonna
like, that's stupid as fuck. If they think that, that's crazy. Like, there's going to be like 16 consoles out. They're not releasing Elder Scrolls.
No way. It's going to be on Helix only.
It'll be Helix, PC, and Series X and S.
Yeah, exactly. Series S and X, they will get it. And hopefully they can cut prices down on Series S and X by that time when Helix comes out. But we will see. The components are still a pain in the ass, right? So we'll see where that goes. But yeah, it's obviously going to be cross-gen. I don't see that being an issue.
Yeah, of course. Now, I did see in the chat, and this is something that I myself was like, Gentlestone says, why might Asha have been at Bethesda right now to view and approve the ES5 trailer for Gamescom? Bro,
it could very well
be. I think he meant ES6. I think he meant
Yeah,
ES6, but
ES6. But yeah, I mean, it could very well be a Gamescom thing. I don't know. I feel like this is a good, Game Awards. Like this is big.
what
This is
if
a big one, right? So
Game Awards is when we see the new console, and instead of Hellblade being the thing that they were using, like they
it's
did
Elder
with
Scrolls.
the other,
I
it's
would
Elder
love that,
Scrolls.
bro. I would love that. I would love
Like you
that. That
just
would be
show
so
Helix,
fucking
and then you
fire.
show Elder
And then
Scrolls 6,
Todd
bro.
walks on the stage, bro, and starts talking about the things that they're doing in Elder Scrolls and the Helix specific features, bro.
And
It'll be
then he
killer.
says Elder Scrolls 6 will be exclusive to the Xbox ecosystem.
Oh my god, dude.
That would be magical.
Boom.
That would be magical. And it would prove that Asha is not here just to get the cheap wins, right? It's not, she's not here just to say, oh, this is an easy win now because nothing's coming out that we have to fight for until then. And I could just say, oh, the Fable thing is out of my hand, which honestly, fuck that. That's bullshit, right? That's bull. Fable, I'm really annoyed by next year having Fable not be the exclusive. Like, if you were going to do this, Fable was the one. You needed to pull Fable off of PlayStation and say, this is the one.
They still need to pull it off PlayStation.
Yeah, I just, the further we get, the harder it's going to be. So
yes,
it's like,
just do it. Like, do it now. Pull it.
Well, now, that being said, there's another one here. And this is the BS argument that I also hearing. This dude, Last Chalice, he got a little traction because like Jez replied to him and other people were replying to him. He says the Elder Scrolls should remain multi-platform indefinitely. My argument
That's
is
it?
why? Yeah, that's just a statement. It should remain multi-platform. And I don't understand why people don't understand that Xbox owns Elder Scrolls.
Can we put a caption here? Spider-Man should remain multi-platform indefinitely. I'm happy with that idea. Let's go. What are the games?
Spider-Man, Wolverine, right?
Bring them.
All of the characters that are not there.
Those Activision games. Who owns Activision? Those games are multi-platform, right? They had all these Marvel games, all multi-platform. Where are they at? Sony, come on, bring them over. Bring them over. So until you have that caption there, too bad. Screw off.
Facts.
I didn't see Sony writing the $7.5 billion check. I did not. Xbox, who wrote a $7.5 billion check to buy.
They wrote a $3 billion IOU and then a $3 billion write-off. That's all PlayStation has done.
Ouch. Ouch. And then they had the biggest flop in gaming history.
Seriously.
Concord.
Good old-fashioned Concord. Hashtag never forget. Hashtag never forget.
Jimmy gets.
But yeah, it's just it's these narratives that people want to go with, and just like you said, Hargeet, like Spider-Man was multi-platform before PlayStation went ahead and took the deal and made it exclusive, right? Like, where is the feedback of PlayStation should do this? And I think that at the end of the day, this, along with everything else we were talking about with Derek Strickland and all this stuff, it's this idea that PlayStation can have exclusives and Xbox cannot. PlayStation has exclusives, business as usual. Xbox has exclusives. They're trying to destroy the industry. They're unfair. They're ruining things and blah, 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 blah. And I just don't understand how this is accepted in the media. You know what I'm saying? Like, they all run with it. And I mean, it's at what point are they going to realize that Xbox has the power? And if they wanted to, they could do it. Because let's be clear, outside of GTA, okay, you remove GTA from existence for a second. Microsoft owns, and let's take out Roblox, right? Microsoft owns everything else that matters in gaming at the highest level, right? Minecraft.
I mean, to be fair, there is Tetris, which is just this oddity.
Oh, I mean, but that's like, that's old. But yeah.
And then Nintendo, which has Mario and Zelda. Well, I think Mario pretty much is like one of those massive, like 600, 700 million altogether with all this different.
Yeah, because it's been around for 48 million years.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
Every game Mario is in.
And then Pokemon is the other big franchise that we don't realize is big, but it's massive because of all the card trading and all the toys and all that stuff. It's a massive franchise. But so anyway, so those are the big ones. But yeah, nothing PlayStation. I mean, like, I can't even, like, what is there? Like, I would have thought Destiny was the game, but Destiny didn't even make fucking money. So it's not Destiny. I mean, what do they have, to be fair? Like, what do they have? Like, Gran Turismo is their biggest selling franchise, and that's like meh. And then what else do they have? They don't have anything that's comparable. The big games are with Take-Two, they're with Nintendo, and they're with Xbox. That's just the way it is, right? The next closest is probably EA with some of their big franchises. But, like, honestly, just tell me, what franchise do they have at PlayStation that's at any level the same level as anything those guys have? There just ain't one. There's just nothing there. I mean, Elder Scrolls 5 alone sold 65 million copies. Just Elder Scrolls 5, right? Let alone the rest of the franchise, right? And, like, we don't have to get into GTA numbers. That's ludicrous. And then Minecraft is the top selling game of all time, right? So they have that too. It is what it is. They have it, and then they have Call of Duty, the Juggernaut.
Call of Duty, Juggernaut every month. I mean, every year. Like, even on a down year, it's still a Juggernaut. You know what I'm saying? So that's.
And let's not forget, Candy Crush still exists. That's another massive freaking game.
So that's the thing. They own everything that is of the most importance, at least to the most hardcore players, right? And frankly, the idea that, you know, Xbox, if they ever wanted to, can go full, you know, villain and just take everything away from everybody and say, hey, if you want to get this game, you can do it on Xbox. Now, does that make sense? No, but it's something that they could do, right? And that's the fear that these people have. And they keep trying to put Xbox in this box where they're not allowed to go out. It's like they're a dog with one of those electric, you know, invisible fences, you know, the chain around their neck. It's like, don't go too far. Don't go too far. You're not allowed, Xbox. And it's like, are you kidding me, bro? PlayStation, they've been sucking off PlayStation for years about exclusives that are not even good, right? Like, this is the thing. Because I've been talking to some people on Twitter and, you know, the responses to my tweets and stuff. And, you know, somebody brought up the fact, it's like, well, you know, if they bring these other things over, it's like, then we're cool. And it's like, fam, like, PlayStation hasn't released anything this generation of real substance or value to me in any way, shape, or form. Like, I try to, you know, play into the, all right, I bought God of War, I bought Spider-Man, both games I didn't beat, both games I do not care for, right? They got me because I was just in the motions, right? I was just like, all right, I own a PlayStation, new exclusive comes out, I'll buy it, and then I hated it, right? And then it's like, well, it's a waste. It's a waste of money. It's ridiculous to do. It doesn't make any sense. Since then, literally since Spider-Man 2, I haven't bought one PlayStation game. Since Spider-Man 2. When did Spider-Man 2 release?
23, I want to say. Was it 22? 23.
Was it 23 or 22? Or 24?
Might have been 22. Because 21 was when they had God of War and Horizon, right?
God of War what?
God of War, the Ragnarok, yeah. Was that 21 or 22?
21?
Or was that 22? Because maybe like 22 was the year that Xbox had nothing. And they had God of War and...
No, 2023.
23, right? Okay, yeah. So 22.
Yeah, October 20th, 2023. So October 20th, 2023 was the last dollar I spent on a PlayStation game. I own the PlayStation. It's somewhere now because I put my PC there now. So I don't even know where it went. I don't know what, somebody moved it. But like it's gonna be 3 years. It's gonna be 3 years this October, a couple months away, that I haven't bought a PlayStation game. Because they're just not good, bro. Like, they're just not, like, they're the same, right? And we're gonna talk about Wolverine in a little bit when we switch topics, but it's like, this is the problem. They released this nonsense where Xbox, they have done we'll make exclusive these little games that we're releasing that are better than the games that release on PlayStation. All these little games that nobody wants to pay attention to or give credit to, they were better experiences than games that were released on PlayStation. That's just a fact. They're very, very creative. They're not the same game over and over again. They're fantastic. And Xbox did it. And everybody gave them shit. Like, everybody talked about how crappy the games were, blah, 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 blah. Now, Xbox has a moment. They have a moment where Elder Scrolls is coming, right? There's a very few games that have this status, okay? Grand Theft Auto is the other. I would say like Call of Duty doesn't even have this status because Call of Duty is a yearly game. It is the biggest game every year for sure, right? But it's not I would say it's not a cultural phenomenon as far as like, oh my God, this next game is coming out, is going to be crazy. No, people are just, they line up because they're buying the next Call of Duty, right? And they make them good enough that people keep buying them. But outside of Grand Theft Auto, which is having its moment this year, right, where the world is going to stop a little bit, no matter how many people hate Grand Theft. I know you guys are not big fans of Grand Theft. No matter how many of you guys hate it, the world is going to stop on the 19th when Netflix drops that trailer. All right. And then it's going to stop again when the game drops. Right. So Grand Theft Auto has that power. Right. And they're going to take advantage of that. The other game that has that power, and I don't know if I'm missing any other games, and you could, tell me, Hargeet or chat, let me know if I'm missing one, but nothing else, excuse me, that I could think of has that power that Elder Scrolls, that a mainline Elder Scrolls game has. Right?